congrats on the film.
Thanks very much, man.
Yeah, it must feel great.
Yeah, man. It feels great. We've kind of talked about it so long ago now. The premiere was like 2 months ago, so it felt great. It still feels great. So yeah.
Good. Well, that sort of leads into the first question that I had, which was that I've heard a lot of artists sort of describe that their greater satisfaction more comes from actually creating the thing that they're trying to make. With this film, you've now experienced both. So I'm just sort of wondering, across your career, what keeps you going more as an actor, creating that thing or seeing it be released into the world?
Oh, it's a really good question. I've never been asked that. I think the reason I act is because the feeling I get and the buzz of creating something. Like I was off set filming a new film yesterday, and I hadn't filmed for like 2 weeks. And sometimes like the nerves of like are like the because it's such a weird experience. Like it's literally there's a phrase of like just don't think. Like try not to think and let the magic happen. I try and live by and like not to overly plan. I think it's something I'm learning in my career to like just trust that like when you step out onto the pitch or the stage or whatever, you connect with it and you do all your prep and it happens. So I love that. But I think I think it's the creation, and then the amazing thing is, which I've experienced from making a film, was like taking it to TIFF, for example. There's film buffs there, who all over the world come to see it, and they really enjoyed it and they connected with my character, and they're like, oh, I saw myself in you. I talked about that before. It was like I finally understood the point of cinema in a second in a conversation with a woman from India who travels to Toronto every year, and she was like, oh, I connect with your character, and I was like, there you go then. That's kind of the point, isn't it, for us to be avatars as actors and for other people to kind of connect with us. So it kind of took it out from that personal experience of filming something and then making it alive for others. I think that's the best thing in the world. So yeah.
No, it must be amazing. I feel like this film, sort of, maybe not in particular, but more so than a lot of British film, it has the potential to inspire that sort of extra layer of connection. I wouldn't say it's a secret that in a lot of cases, British film can end up being very London centric in terms of its setting, in terms of its funding. And obviously, you being Scottish and with this having filmed in Dundee throughout Scotland, I'm just wondering if it meant something to you personally to show these lesser represented areas on film, and sort of, do you share the same grievances about seeing the same favoured areas over and over and over?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I've not grown up with like loads of Scottish movies being made. I used to have a poster of a film called Beats in my room when I was living in London for drama school, and Lauren MacDonald and Christian Ortega are the two actors, and Lauren, his performance in that film was like so inspiring, and also just seeing like a movie with like they're from Edinburgh with thick like Leith accents and like Scottish banter and culture, seeing that was just like the best thing ever. And when I was like 19, I was like, I was so proud, and like you feel so inspired seeing movies like that represent you. But there's also something like Trainspotting is so widely loved and popular, not only by Scottish young males and women, but it's a cult film in Britain. And it's like people often say they can't understand accents, and that's like, well, that's probably because we don't have enough of our own work from the whole diaspora of the UK and Ireland and wherever else of niche accents and like stories from the world. And I think that's the good thing about film, is it can take you into these worlds where the mainstream media might not necessarily want to take you for a whole host of political reasons and probably and wider societal things, because the money's not in these places. So therefore, there's a kind of lack of access for arts and all these things, and yet so there's, I don't know, there's less stories coming out of these places. But there's a whole host of stories like Silibil N Brains that are kind of Scottish legend stories. I feel like it's such a kind of Robin Hood tale of like taking matters into your own hands. So yeah, I'm very proud to be a part of something, especially set in Dundee and also filming in Tannadice, where I go to see my beloved Dundee United every week. So no, it was cool, mate.
No, great, man. Well, you should be proud of it. It's a phenomenal piece of work. I'm also just wondering if, in a sense, the acting industry and cinema, you can sort of draw comparisons in terms of it being similarly cutthroat as to something like the music industry. I'm wondering if, when you were coming up in this industry that you're in, performing, if you ever related at any point whilst you were filming this to that sort of fake it to fit in approach that, you know,
Oh,
Gavin did.
yeah, I still do. I still have massive imposter syndrome and think everyone's better than me and cooler than me, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think being an actor, you kind of don't, as a sense of self, it has to be kind of. I don't really know who I am still. I don't know if that's just an actor thing, but that's maybe why I can play other characters, because I don't have a kind of solid sense of self. I think I'm naturally such a chameleon. So, but fake it till you make it thing, you just have to, like, filming the other day. Sometimes simple scenes of like coming down a set of stairs, I'll be like in my head, like, right, what am I gonna do? Like, how am I? What's my character thinking about? And again, it's like, shut up. Like, you don't need to think. You do, however, have to often, especially in interviews and doing press and red carpet things, especially watching James McAvoy, who's so charismatic. Sometimes I'm a bit like, God, he is a movie star. You know, you kind of have to pretend to maybe be so charismatic, but often actors are very shy. So yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. Like, yeah, sometimes I felt like I just have to fake it to make it. But then the things I rely on are just like what feels good, and am I connecting to this, and as the story being told, and real things, and so that's, I don't try to think about all the other stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you mentioned imposter syndrome, and
Yeah,
I'm sort of, you work with, obviously you described him as a Hollywood star on this, a movie
yeah.
star. Working with somebody like James, of James's caliber, does that make the imposter syndrome worse or better? Sharing the room with
Yeah,
somebody that's
he
renowned.
made it better. He made it better because he's got such a heart and also such a sensitivity that he can connect with you and probably see, like a football coach can see when you're struggling, probably knows when to put like an arm around your shoulder. And one of the big things that James did for me was early on in the shoot, he was like, I want to see you. Like, you're enough. I don't need to see all this. You don't need to show all the work you've done. Like, at the end of the day, it's you in front of that camera, and it's, I've cast you and I want to see you. So I found that really, really freeing and groundbreaking, that I actually am enough. And I've kind of tried to keep that in my approach to especially film acting, of just like letting the camera see you and just like not giving a F, like as Sam Bottomley beautifully told me about, just like just bear it all, and just show the messy bits, show the uncomfortable, like just bring all yourself to it, because that's all you've got. You know, if you're nervous or whatever, that's good. Don't deny anything. But that was, he was so good at that. So yeah, he was a huge mentor, and I'm incredibly grateful for that experience of having someone like that putting an arm on your shoulder. You know.
And I would imagine also as well quite an inspiration in the sense of seeing how his career has blossomed now into becoming a filmmaker. And I know that getting asked this question might be quite loaded because it's much earlier on in your acting career. But do you ever see yourself as being sort of like James McAvoy somewhere down the line, wanting to turn your hand to directing, writing, and sort of forming that story yourself?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think I get them. I am, because as an actor, you read so many scripts. I've always had ideas for things. You know, loads of ideas. I'd love to do things. I'd love to make, and I think there's an attitude change. Like, see if you. I think if you treat acting jobs like a producer, like it's just a slight mentality shift of like, I kind of belong this. This is my responsibility to this character. Like, I'm making something, not kind of feel like I'm just like joining a kind of moving train or something like that. Do you know what I mean? If you treat the script with the responsibility of like, and a collaboration element, it's much more freeing. So I've adopted that with acting anyway. Of like, we're all just making something here, and I've got full autonomy, and I'm equal to everyone, and not feeling that there's this kind of divide, which James is really good at. I've got making actors feel like they weren't below the director, and it was all kind of creative. Especially the director I'm working with now, Lorna Tucker, she's great at that as well, which I love. And it makes you feel so much more confident as an actor and less secondary. So I would love to go the whole way and produce and make something with a bunch of people and my own ideas, because I think I've got some good ones, and I think I would be a decent director. Like, I've always wanted to teach acting as well, so yeah, it'd be
Your
cool.
Sam is doing at the moment. Is that
Yeah,
inspired you?
no,
Workshop.
Sam, yeah, it's so inspiring. That Sam, honestly, it's incredible what he's done. Like, he's class. I'm hopefully gonna take one of his classes with him in Yorkshire, so that'd be sick.
No, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
That'd be
man.
so. Um,
Yeah, be six.
I'm wondering, in the movie, is there anything that sticks out to you? I know that there's obviously been a lot of talk that's gone into the accents and how difficult it was, and then obviously for Sam, maybe it was have that maybe slight extra dimension, but not so much because you didn't have a Dundonian sort of accent, but you know, you had to come from you being a Yorkshireman. But is there a piece of acting in this movie, particularly, maybe if you can narrow it down to a scene that you can recall you had a difficult time with on the day, you were really, really wanting to get it right?
Oh, a difficult time with on the day. I mean, the bad is a one that comes. That was really hard because it was like deep into shoot. We were like a week away from filming. We knew this behemoth of a film was coming up. Of a scene was coming up. So like we had like a movement guy coming up from London to like teach us some dance moves and like some stage presence. And those clips of us, I could show you my phone of us repeatedly rehearsing it on the stage. And then we'd honestly do it like I think we did it something as much as like maybe 40 times, honestly, like because we had to get the audience in, we had to get like 100 essays in to film through them, and then there was 2,000 people and we were actually doing a live gig, so all the adrenaline, like we were cooked, we were jumping about a stage and rapping. It's so exhausting, and me and Sam were just absolutely blown. Like it was, yeah, it was mad, but it was a beast. I didn't know how I was going to do that, and James just kind of looked at me like, "You all right? You got this?" And I was like, "Yep." He could see I was lagging. I was kind of being a little wimp about it. I was like, "I need you to step up now." He didn't quite say that, but there's a look in his eyes like, "You got to do this, man. Come on." And we did. So eventually it was all right, I think.
Well, I was reading the Rocky scrapbook for the Rocky the film,
Yeah.
yeah, the other day, and it was something similar in the sense that when they filmed the final fight at the end with Rocky and Apollo, I think that they invited down as many people to be extras as they could be. They swayed them there with a chicken dinner.
No
Uh,
way, really?
yeah, yeah,
Is that
yeah.
the
And
first Rocky? I've never seen the Rockies. Is it the first one?
you've never seen the Rockies?
Yeah, I've never seen the
Really?
Rockies.
Oh, mate, you need to get on that. I've just finished watching the whole franchise with my partner.
Oh, class. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
get on that. There's a few I've not seen. Lost in Translation. The one, what's the Ethan Hawke's one? The romance one. I got referenced that the other day, and I've still True Romance. The Before Sunrise.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
that's another one I need to get on. It's
No,
terrible.
it's one of those things. My friend always says to me, he's like, his biggest fear is that when he dies, he's gonna die having not seen his favorite film or listened to his favorite album. And I
That's
always
a
think that's
great
a
way of thinking
strange
about it.
fear, but yeah. But then I think about it, I'm like, oh, that's a reasonable fear. That you
It
know,
is. It is. It's a good. I know. Not hearing the best piece of music. That's an incredible thought. Wow.
yeah. But in the Rocky movie, he's Sylvester Stallone hasn't been shy about saying that the actors, the extras that came in, not the actors, and watched that fight, they very much got into it like it was an actual fight. They started
Oh
throwing stuff
damn.
on the stage, whistling. They sort of separated into factions for who was supporting each fighter. And I think he didn't have the most pleasant experience with it. But what was it like having that crowd brought in and them presumably having to see you do the same songs over, do many takes? Did you feel like they were getting into it like an actual concert at any point?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like don't know where to start. Like first of all, I had my sisters coming, and I was like, I'm terrible at messaging people about plans. Anyway, I was like, look, I'm doing this thing at the Barrowlands, which is, if you don't know, it's a really iconic
Yeah.
venue. In my pal and I invited my friends, as many as I could. My friends Joe and Thomas came along, and I think Joe didn't even know what was going on. He was just like, he thought I don't know, he didn't think I was going on the stage or something like that. He was just convinced that I don't know what he thought, because I probably didn't explain it very well. But all of a sudden, I'm backstage, like steaming my voice. I'm like dying. I'm like terrified to go on stage. Me and Sam are like separated, and see my two like friends, like two school pals, backstage, just like smiling at me, laughing. I'm like full costume with a headband on, and I come out, and my sisters are on their shoulders, and the Glasgow crowd just went mad, and they were so supportive because they probably knew we were nervous, but by like the second or third take, they were shouting, here we fucking go," which is the best compliment you can get, I think. So, they were amazing. One city that can be so up for it is Glasgow. They were. I was the first thing I said when I came off stage. I was like, Glasgow audiences are special, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, obviously, movies. It's not all about music, but music's at its core, right? And sort of, I'm
Yeah,
sure probably to want to get into it, a relatively musical guy, or at least you really love music.
the film.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm for you to get into a movie like this where music is at its core, I'm assuming that music probably means something to you a lot.
I think it's, me and my friends have talked about that, who are actors. I've got a pal from drama school who is obsessed with music as me, and I think he was like, would you rather never see a film again or never listen to a song again? And I think I would not never watch a film again and choose music, because I think it can take me to places like in my mind, like it can create these kind of mental movies, if you know what I mean.
And I think of most of my favorite scenes in a film, they almost always contain music. There's something about having that sound that always takes something to the next level.
Trainspotting's a good example. Like, look at these. I mean, so many films, but yeah, I know. I was at a gig seeing a guy, what was he called again? Remote Consoles or something like that. And it was so like, we were watching, it's an electronic set and he's all using analog synths. And I was with my friend and I was like, this is like a Nolan score. It's like, this is the point in the film where the protagonists are coming up with a plan. It's so funny how this music can like immediately synchronize with like the beats in the story. I'd be like, oh yeah, this is the bit when they're running away. It was mad. It was really cool.
Have you seen the film Yesterday?
The Beatles film? Yeah. No, I've seen a clip of it on YouTube Reels, but I've never seen it.
But I feel like that's how a lot of people are getting alerted to films nowadays.
Yeah.
But you know the premise of it.
Yes, if the Beatles was never made and the guys drumming away like yesterday.
Yeah. So imagine that you're in it, right?
Right.
Tomorrow you can wake up and you can pick in advance for one song or one album to be blipped out of existence. You're going to wake up the next day and you're going to be the only person who remembers it.
Oh my! It will be the Beatles. I'm a massive Beatles fan.
Would it?
Yeah, the Beatles are the best band of all time. Revolver would be brilliant. I mean, the White Album, they're all great. Oh God.
I feel like it's a difficult question though, because it's got to be something that you believe that you could make.
Oh well, then I'm gonna choose the Stone Roses. I'm gonna choose Stone Roses' self-titled album. Imagine that coming out nowadays. That'd be unreal. And obviously the consequences of the fashion not coming out. Maybe Oasis wouldn't have came out. So then would have been able to like start donning parka jackets and cool Adidas shoes before everyone, you know, and create a whole trend. Be the coolest guy in the world in 2026. But it wouldn't happen because everyone's got mobile phones and the effects of the Stone Roses would not be as prominent, I think.
Yeah. It's strange thinking about that, whether something was sort of that product of its time. If somebody had made it today, it would have the same effect.
When were they about? Like late 80s, weren't they? God, so cool.
Well, Sam got asked this in another interview, so I feel like you should be asked it too, because I thought it was
What did he say?
No, not that. This was kind of enough. What I'm about to ask you is what he got asked. You might like this one more. He got asked if he could take any role from anyone in the history of cinema and be the one that played it. What would he pick?
It's a great one. Probably Al Pacino in The Godfather.
I think he actually said something similar. I think he said The Godfather.
Did he? Yeah, he loves The Godfather. I think that's his favorite film. I know everyone's kind of boring, but I think it's such a good character. I love him in that role, man. Pacino, I've got his book. I've not started reading it yet. I'm going to LA tomorrow, so I'm going to be reading that on the flight, and I've heard it's brilliant. But that's a good one. Another one that came to my mind is I love 1917 so much. I went to see 1917 3 times, I think, in the space of like 2 weeks, and I saw it in IMAX in Leicester Square. Then I saw it in just normally 2D in a kind of smaller cinema. And then my dad booked his 4D tickets. Have you ever seen a film in 4D?
Oh, I think I went to go see Spy Kids 4D.
That's perfect. That's perfect. 4D. Yeah, I don't recommend it. It's actually a pain in the arse.
Is it when they spray stuff on you?
They spray stuff. Your seat's shaking about. Like it's just boring. And it's just like a wash roller coaster. You can't see the screen. Like, it's so maybe George McKay. I love that film so much. Honestly, it's incredible. I think it's one of the best films of the last like 20 years. You
think you could have got the rundown, the classic run across? Do you think you would have done it?
I love that's improvised, and the whole the bit where they clashed, isn't it? That's all. That wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing his new film with Callum Turner. That looks so good.
Yeah. Is there anything that you can tell us about your next one? About going into it with Colin?
Yeah, so it's been announced. It's been announced that I'm in it. So it's called Bear by Lorna Tucker, and it's Seamus McGarvey's obviously her husband, and it's her memoir. She's just wrote a book a couple of years ago of her life with like being a kind of teenage runaway and like homeless, and it's kind of based on her life story of like forming a group of people in Soho when she's like 16 and youth hostels. And yeah, the character I'm playing is Sophie, who's kind of based on Lorna, her boyfriend at the start of the film, who both run away. But probably even that's probably saying too much. But it's got an amazing cast and it's got Colin Firth and stuff in it. And so yeah, I had a scene with Isla Fisher the other day, which was cool. So yeah, it was pretty mad. So no, it's really cool, man. It's really exciting, and yeah, we're probably nearing got a couple weeks left to shoot. So yeah, it's been good, man.
Yeah, well, I feel like a lot has been made of how Sam is sort of quietly stacking up one of the most incredible sort of supporting casts for an actor to work with. But I mean, you know, you're getting there, man. James McAvoy now, you've got Oscar winner Colin Firth, Isla Fisher on the next one. So.
Yeah, mate. Oh, I got a long way to get Sam. The guy's been acting since he's like 10 years old. But no, I'm just buzzing to be working. So no, it's a good year. It's a good year, mate.
But you both shared the screen with Peter Mullen, who I didn't know if you shared the screen because I never saw the show.
We did. I've got a couple scenes with him. Luckily enough, that he was Peter Mullen, like one of my favorite actors growing up.
Yeah, he's phenomenal, isn't he? He was, and obviously he's getting a lot of praise recently for being part of this little Scottish mini cinema boom with I Swear.
I know. Honestly, I Swear has done so well, and it deserves it. It's just I cried my eyes at it so much. It's so good, isn't it? So good.
Yeah, it's
like it's unbelievable. Robert Aramayo, man, unbelievable. His accent's class as well.
Yeah, but with Mullen, because I think he's one of the most underrated actors in the world. Did you and Sam ever share any stories of him? Because obviously Sam worked with him when he was a child, and now you know.
No, we actually didn't. We didn't really about Mullen. His plethora of stars he's worked with is insane. Like he's worked with. He did a film with Daniel Day-Lewis before coming on California Schemin, or maybe after. Like insane. He's worked with Samantha Morton on that. Tim Roth, Peter Mullen, obviously. I think has he worked with Stephen Graham? I don't know, man. He's worked with everyone. And he's now on Peaky. Oh, can I say what he's on? No, I can't say what he's on. Nearly gave away something there. But no, he's killing it. But no, Peter Mullen's class. I saw him he was at the screening for California Schemin. And he sent for Simon. I was like, I need to run up to him. And I was like, Peter, how you doing? And he recognised me from Blood of My Blood. Yeah. And he was just like, and what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm in the film. I was like, I'm in the film, mate. It was so funny.
What came with more pressure for you? Playing a real life person in a biopic, or playing a pre-existing character in what is such a beloved show? I mean, my girlfriend is obsessed with Outlander. Absolutely obsessed.
Really? Oh, wow. Yeah. Probably, I don't know. Probably the film because I was leading it, and it probably as a real person. I was pretty nervous, but it's always the time before shoot for me that's like I get quite in my head and I'm like procrastinating and I'm like, oh, how the hell am I gonna do this? How the hell do you act? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna feel awful on set. And then you get there and you have a blast, and it's the funnest thing in the world. But it's all yourself that puts this pressure on. Like, of course, it exists externally, and there's eyes on you. It's just about getting your mental framework right, I think, and I'm still figuring that out. But Blood of My Blood was its own fear. It's a huge dynasty, obviously, but I think because it's a film, there's a bit more magic about it. I don't know. It's and leading it, like I say, was pretty scary. But now James and Sam and Lucy and everyone else were great, and I had such a fun time doing it. So yeah, it all went out the window.
No, that's amazing, man. Honestly, I'd just ask away in a way, but you need to. You should be very proud of what you've done with the movie.
Thanks so much, mate. That means a lot. Cheers.
I think you're going to go on to do some really great things, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, mate.